So I just had a baby 3 weeks ago, and I knew that the cost of having a child in United States is absolutely outrageous, but I didn't expect it to be this bad.
Dear good people of the foolish world, today we're going to be looking at one of the reasons why our population is collapsing, which is the cost of having and raising a baby, especially in the United States.
Today I got my hospital bill in mail, so let's break it down. Some of the things that are listed here, I have absolutely no clue what they are.
Yeah, that's doctors for you. Sometimes I wonder whether doctors are aliens. They speak words you never understand, give you a list of things like there's a way to fact check them, and they use handwriting that resembles that of gorillas. Now, who can read this? Can you read this?
I have to trust that they actually put the things that they did in the hospital. $196.18 for electric breast pumps, which they did lend me those in the hospital so I can pump for the baby when he was in an NICU. Disposable collection and ST, no clue, $78. Culture screen only, $184.03. OB US limited fetus, $482. OB US 14 weeks single fetus, $411. Now is where the fun begins. Cesarean delivery, $8,947. Extraction of products O, which I don't know if that's extracting the baby or what is that, $43,599.
Well, what? So, after this woman had paid $8,000 for a C-section, she had to pay an additional $43,000 for someone to pull out the baby. You should have called me. I'll help you to pull out the baby for free.
X-ray exam chest for the baby, $176. Whole bunch of charges that I think are baby's labs, $194.97. This I think is only one of the 4 days of baby stay in the NICU. $4,666, most expensive hotel in United States. His hearing test that came out to be $1,853. Twice did they charge me for each ear. And lastly on this bill, assistance with respiratory ventilator that the baby had to be on, $30,184. That was only the hospital bill, and then on top of that we also got the doctor's bill for the doctors that took care of him in the NICU. That came out to be $20,123. All of that combined comes to the grand total of $125,641.69.
If I had to have $120,000 to have a baby, see, America is a comedy show at this point. Let's see the comment section. Someone wrote, "How does everybody pay for this? Are they crazy? I feel like the healthcare system in the US is the biggest scam in the whole world." Wow. Luckily, I live in Italy and healthcare is free. I had my children in Australia, it's free. Plus the government gave us $5,000 for each child born. For that kind of money in Malaysia, you can deliver an entire football team, including the referees and linesmen too. Okay, that was a joke.
I was kicked off my insurance at 39 weeks pregnant, so I had to give birth with no insurance in the United States. And I'm going to tell you how much it cost me and break it down for you, because some people were nosy and asking, and I was genuinely curious. I've never given birth without insurance. I've never really looked at it like this. So let's get started. The OB PVT was $2,365. Pharmacy was $214. Laboratory OR was $488. Lab immunology was $103. Lab hematology was $188. Anesthesia was $1,345. Labor was $6,750. The delivery room was $5,165. Mind you, I got there, I was already 8 centimeters. I then got the epidural and gave birth within a couple hours. And I stayed one night in the hospital because that is the requirement at the hospital that I go to. So they said I had to stay 24 hours, and I did. or maybe like it's recommended, and obviously you can leave against doctor's advice, but I don't do that. So that's just for me. And now for the baby, nursery newborn, his stay was $2,365. Pharmacy was $191. I don't know what he even got. He didn't really get anything. There's nothing wrong with him. He was born completely healthy, no complications. Laboratory was $406. Lab chemistry was $199. Lab immunology is $122. A total of $20,465.
Yes, $20,000 is better than $100,000, but even that is just, I mean, I don't know. But you know, you still have other crazy expenses to raise a child, right?
Okay, let's talk about childcare and how much it is in California. You are going to just be mind blown at how expensive it is. It is, how do people afford childcare right now in California? Okay, let's break down the numbers. Ready for these numbers? Okay, this is the breakdown of how much it would cost you to send only one kid to this particular Montessori school in Southern California. I'll give you 3 options at this particular childcare place. First option is Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 to 12, and it's $1,200. It's just crazy to think how expensive it is to send your kids to daycare in California or any type of childcare. That $1,200 does not include diapers or lunch. It only includes 2 snacks. The second option they give you is their second program, which is Monday through Friday, so 5 days a week, but from 8:30 to 2:30, which is a half day, and that's gonna cost you $2,250 a month. Here's their third program option. So it's a full day. It's Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30. And this program is going to cost you $2,650 a month. So the $2,650 a month for the full day doesn't include diapers and it doesn't include lunch. Lunch you still have to provide, or they have a lunch there and it's going to cost you $8 a day. So if I was to send both boys to the school and have them provide lunch for both of them Monday through Friday, it would cost us $5,620 a month.
Well, we've talked about giving birth to a baby and paying for daycare. Now, let's talk about extracurriculars.
One of the conversations that I didn't include in that last post about conversations to have with your partner is, how much are we spending on kids' extracurricular activities? Are we willing to spend a lot of money, or are we finding other activities? My son is 3.5, and I went to kind of look into some activities. I think putting him in a sport would be good. He's a very high energy kid. Are we paying these prices? And I'm so nosy. Like, I want to know, like, what activities are your kids in and how much are you spending? Because what? And my kid's only 3. Like, I know as a teenager, it's just going to get worse. And I will fully say, like, I think you as a parent have the ability to say, like, no, we're not spending this kind of money. Like, I would rather put the difference into Carter's college fund. So I think having this conversation with a potential partner is such a good conversation to see, like, where both of you are at. But, like, he's 3. Holy cow. I sticker shock. Complete sticker shock. I was not prepared for that.
Listen, I need my TikToks to start taking off. Like, I need the creator fund to start creating paychecks for me, or like, I need you guys to see something that I'm selling and like want to buy it, because my kids did karate camp at their elementary school. Really, really cute. Okay. Like, it's 4 classes over the span of 2 weeks, $25 after school. Like, it was really, really fun. They did it. Today was their graduation. We did the whole thing, you know, they break their boards, they get their white belts. We do their whole ceremony. It was really the cutest thing I've ever seen. And then they say, yeah, do you want to hear our sign-up specials? And I was like, yeah, of course, I want to sign them up. Like, I have had this in my mind, like, I'm going to sign them up for some kind of an after-school activity. They really seem to like the karate camp. Let's sign them up. Tell me why this man said it's $169.99 a month. Okay, that's great. Per kid. Okay, again, that's great. I'm not going to argue with you about the price. Like, your service, I have no doubt in my mind it's worth that. So $169.99 a month per kid. Great. Plus a training fee. Okay. What's the training fee? $89.99. Okay. A month per kid. Okay. So I'm adding this up in my mind. We're over $500. And he says, and I see you have 2 toddlers. We have toddler classes, and he's telling me prices for those. And it's like, I will pay more than my mortgage in karate class fees, because I want my kids to do a sport and after school activity because I never got to. I did like little ones through the school, but like I never got to go like do the classes somewhere else. And I always wanted to. And so now because I'm trying to heal my inner child, I need a third job or TikTok to start paying out because wow. Take your birth control.
Now, before you take your birth control, I need you to listen to something here. You see, when it comes to extracurriculars, most parents were tricked into it by marketing. What do I mean? Well, except your kid is 7 or 8. Most kids would grow just fine and not miss a thing if you just allow them to play. At least that's what I did with my kids, but you know, I'm probably a bad parent.
Here's how much it costs to give birth in the United States of America as an immigrant on her husband's insurance. For reference, I moved here in May from Germany and I had my baby in September, and here's how much it costs. So, I had a C-section, which means this is a big bill, and I was shocked because in Germany, we don't pay, at least we don't know that we pay, our insurance covers everything, but here it's different. So, for obstetrics room and care, which is basically you staying in the hospital, we paid $8,274 US. Well, let's not say we paid, we were charged that. Then for laboratory services, we were charged $4,863 US, which is basically every time they got blood work or, I don't know, my blood pressure or his blood pressure, I guess. Then for pharmacy, we got billed $3,501 US. Okay, I had an epidural, but from what I understand, that it comes later on is an extra bill. But really, all I received was like Tylenol. Oh, no, let me actually take this back. I did get induced, so I got these pills that induce you. But 3,500?
I like this woman's face. Look at her face. She's surprised. It's called the United States of America because everything is meant to be unitedly expensive, you know?
That's kind of crazy. Then the delivery room services, which was the biggest bill, and I assume means the C-section itself. Mind you, there were like 100 people in that room when I had my C-section, so I guess all these people need to get paid, right? We were billed $41,171 US. Sag mal, geht's noch? Crazy. And then the anesthesia services were $8,618. I assume it's an epidural, but it's called what? T-tab, C-tab, something like that. Please let me know in the comments down below what it's really called. And that obviously was much needed because nobody wants to feel the pain of being cut open. And my anesthesiologist, low-key, was the funniest person in the room, so I appreciate him. And then last but not least, for diagnostic therapeutic imaging, no idea what that means.
Yeah, you will never know what it means, which is the reason why when I reincarnate and come back to this world, I want to be a doctor so that I can, you know, make up words and get people to pay me for nothing. Madam, you're paying me $7,000 for pterygolestocastical lapel.
I just declined a job offer that paid over $100,000 per year. So I got laid off by the end of 2023 and got pregnant on 2024. While I was pregnant, I was also actively looking for a new job. And now my baby is born, she's 2 months old. Finally, I got a job offer, but I decided not to go. Here's why. That job required me to go on set 5 days per week. And it would take me about 30 minutes commute to the office, an hour if there's traffic. And I live in Seattle, so there's always traffic. Since my baby is 2 months old, she will need daycare. And infant daycare are so expensive. I just spent a day asking around, and the average price for an infant daycare from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. is around $4,000 and more. So even though the job offered me more than $100,000 annually salary, but after tax, healthcare, and 401k, my take-home salary will actually just barely cover the infant daycare. Also, my baby Angelica is currently in her contact napping phase. Like during the day, if she needs a nap, she will only napping on top of me. Once I put her down in her crib, she will immediately start to cry. But if I put her in the infant daycare, nobody gonna pick her up. It's gonna just let her cry probably. So at the end, I have to say no to the job offer because the salary just cannot cut it. I also don't have the heart to send my 2-month-old to infant daycare. Like, daycare in the United States is just so expensive.
Someone in the comment wrote, $4,000 a month for daycare? The prices of childcare in Seattle and the whole USA are inhumane, and I'll never stop saying it. I worked at a daycare before, and I think you made the right choice. Some kids love it, but I will say your kid will be sick a lot. Also, daycare makes kids really sick constantly. I started daycare at 10 months, did get ignored in my carrier most of the time, but was always coming home with a green runny nose, and you or I 2 months old is way too early to go back to work. America needs better maternity leave, absolutely. At 2 months, the mother is still probably sleep deprived, and she hasn't even recovered from pregnancy yet.
This is how much it costs to give birth in America, $44,318.41. I had my little guy 3 weeks ago, so they definitely wasted no time sending me that bill. I had a vaginal birth with epidural, no complications, and I was in the hospital for about 2 days. So I'm gonna break everything down for you guys.
Okay, madam, don't bother to break it up. We already know.
Okay, this is what it cost to give birth 6 weeks ago at Mount Sinai West. Now, this is what the hospital charged the insurance company, just to be clear. We only paid $400. Thankfully, my wife has really good insurance. You know, other people that have shelled out thousands of dollars. We know one couple that had to pay $10,000. Our first kid, born in 2021, my wife needed to be induced, so with all the medication she needed, that bill was like $60,000. I want to show you a small part of the bill and how they got to this number. Okay, this is Lanolin nipple cream. It's not even $10 on Amazon. I don't need to go into specifics on why a new breastfeeding mother might need this, but it is a fairly common product. This is how much the hospital charged for Lanolin nipple cream. The hospital charged $493.
America is such a great country, isn't it? How could you charge almost $500 for a product that costs $9?
So I am 5 weeks postpartum with twin girls, and I've been seeing a lot of headlines recently about how the birth rate in America is declining and how concerning that is. So I thought to myself, I could think of a lot of reasons why the birth rate might be declining. First and foremost, cost. And I decided to take it upon myself and look back at every single bill that I received over the course of my pregnancy and total what it costs to deliver twins in America. For context, I am 36 years old, which is considered advanced maternal age, and I was pregnant with Di twins, which already made my pregnancy high risk. But about halfway through my pregnancy, there were concerns about possible fetal growth restriction. So from about 22 weeks on, I had 2 appointments every week, one with my OB, one with the maternal fetal medicine specialist, every single week until I delivered at 37 weeks. So what was the total cost of that? From the start of my pregnancy through delivery and me walking out of those hospital doors, the total cost billed for my care was $120,527.51.
Yeah, yes, a lot of people have insurance, but that does not mean that insurance is free money. Someone still has to pay it, and guess where the guy who pays it gets his money back? From you. So at the end of the day, if it costs so much to raise another human, more and more people will stop having babies, and at some point we'll all go extinct, which maybe that's a good thing. Okay, it's not a good thing, but maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. What do you think?